Let's get into the unfolding story of the McBee dynasty, a tale of love, loss, and resilience that has touched many hearts. The shocking interviews. The entertainment and socialite worlds were stunned recently as Stephen McBee Sr., the patriarch of the McBee dynasty, signed divorce papers officially ending his marriage to Kristi McBee. What once seemed like a rock-solid partnership between two powerhouse personalities is now quietly unraveling, revealing layers of complexity beneath the glamorous surface. For years, Stephen and Christy were seen as the epitome of strength and grace, a couple who balanced the pressures of public life, business empires, and family with apparent ease. Yet, behind closed doors, cracks were quietly forming. Today, we explore what happened behind the scenes, the emotional toll of their separation, and what the future holds for both Stephen and Christy. A power couple with a dynamic. Stephen McBee Sr. is a respected businessman and head of the McBee dynasty, a family known for its influence, philanthropy, and lasting legacy. Kristi McBee, his wife for over a decade, has been a vital part of that legacy, not only as a partner but as a mother, entrepreneur, and advocate in her own right. Together, they raised a family while managing vast business interests and public expectations. They appear to have it all, but sources close to the couple hint that maintaining this facade came at a high personal cost. Differing paths and growing distance. According to insiders, the tension began as Christy's ambitions and passions started to grow beyond what Stephen could fully support. Christy's increasing involvement in her wellness ventures, community projects, and advocacy work led her to spend more time away from the family home. Meanwhile, Stephen found himself immersed in the family business and personal interests, which demanded his full attention. Christy has always been known for her strong convictions and drive to make a difference, often traveling to speak at events or to support charitable causes. However, Stephen, who values stability and tradition, reportedly found it challenging to embrace these changes in their dynamic fully. Friends say that while their love was genuine, they began to drift apart, not out of malice, but from the slow and inevitable divergence of their dreams and priorities. The emotional distance grew as Christy felt increasingly unsupported in her journey, and Stephen struggled to keep their family life grounded amidst these shifting sands. The revelations. The turning point came when Christy, in a rare and candid interview, spoke openly about the challenges she faced balancing marriage, motherhood, and her evolving career. Her heartfelt words revealed a woman grappling with feelings of loneliness and frustration despite being surrounded by family and fans. She hinted at a sense of isolation, describing how the couple's once shared vision had begun to blur. Although she never named Stephen directly, those close to the McBees understood that these remarks reflected deeper struggles in their relationship. Stephen, reportedly caught off guard by these public admissions, attempted to bridge the growing gap, but the emotional wounds ran deep, and it became clear that simply trying to mend what was broken was not enough. The divorce decision. With heavy hearts, Stephen and Christy agreed that their marriage could no longer continue as it once had. The decision to sign divorce papers was made quietly, but it sent ripples through their family and community. Fans and longtime followers expressed shock, recalling the couple's many appearances filled with laughter, love, and mutual support. But as anyone who has lived a long life knows, appearances can be deceiving, and love, no matter how deep, sometimes cannot overcome fundamental differences. Looking ahead, what the future actually is. So what comes next for Stephen McBee Sr. and Kristi McBee? While their romantic relationship has ended, sources confirm that they remain committed to co-parenting their children with respect and care. Christy is said to be focusing on her personal growth, her business ventures, and the causes close to her heart. She is reportedly working on new wellness projects and preparing to launch a memoir chronicling her journey, the triumphs and the hardages alike. Steven, on the other hand, is doubling down on the family business and spending more time with close friends and family, seeking peace and purpose beyond the dissolution of his marriage. Though their story has reached a difficult crossroads, it also marks a new chapter filled with potential for both of them. Their enduring love for their children remains the foundation on which they will build their separate futures. A McBee's of resiliency. For many watching from afar, the McBee separation serves as a reminder that even the strongest partnerships can face hardship. It shows us that resilience is not about never falling, but about rising with grace and strength after the fall. Steven and Kristi's story is not one of failure but of transformation, an honest and human experience that resonates deeply, especially with those who understand that life's journey is filled with unexpected turns. We would love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe Steven and Kristi will find peace and fulfillment in their new paths? Until next time, take care and remember, every ending is just the beginning of something new. For years, their life had been a meticulously choreographed dance. Steven, the stoic patriarch, the man who built an empire on unwavering principles and a handshake. Kristi, the elegant partner, a supportive wife and mother who carried the family's social and philanthropic legacy with grace. They were the McBee dynasty, a name that commanded respect and admiration. But beneath the polished veneer, their paths had begun to diverge, slowly and irrevocably, like two rivers that once flowed as one, but were now seeking different seas. The first cracks were almost imperceptible, a change in tempo only they could feel. It began with Kristi's wellness ventures. What started as a passion project soon became a roaring fire of purpose. She wasn't just hosting galas, she was speaking at conferences, advocating for causes, and building a community of her own. The woman who once stood proudly by Steven's side was now standing on her own stages, her voice ringing out with a conviction that was entirely her own. She would return from these trips energized and fulfilled, but also profoundly alone. The grand, quiet house felt less like a sanctuary and more like a gilded cage. Steven, meanwhile, remained rooted. He was a man of tradition, of the family business, of the home he had built. He supported her work in principle, but he couldn't quite grasp the restlessness that drove her. He saw her ambition as a centrifugal force, pulling her further and further away from the life they had so carefully constructed. He valued stability. She was chasing a different kind of freedom. Their love was still genuine, a deep, well-worn affection born of a decade together, but it was no longer enough to bridge the growing emotional distance. The true turning point came not in a heated argument, but in the sterile, impersonal words of a magazine article. In a rare, unguarded moment, Kristi had spoken to a journalist about the struggles of balancing her public life with her private one. She hadn't named Steven, but she didn't have to. Her words, loneliness, isolation, a blurred vision, were a public echo of the private truth that had been haunting them. Steven read the article in his study, the leather-bound chairs and mahogany desks, a testament to his world of permanence. The words hit him like a physical blow. It wasn't anger he felt, but a profound sadness and a dawning, terrible clarity. He had been so focused on maintaining the idea of their family that he had failed to see the woman, the person, right in front of him. He realized his silent struggle to keep her grounded had felt to her like a lack of support. He had tried to mend things, but the foundation was already too weak. With heavy hearts, they made the decision. The signing of the divorce papers was a quiet, somber affair. There were no lawyers yelling, no accusations, just two people, once so in love, respectfully and tenderly uncoupling their lives. The ink on the page was not a mark of failure, but a symbol of a difficult truth, that sometimes the greatest act of love is to let go and allow each other to seek happiness on separate paths. Today, life goes on. Kristi is in the midst of writing a memoir, a chronicle of her journey from a supportive wife to a woman in her own right, with all the triumphs and hardships that entails. Her work is a testament to her resilience, a quiet promise to herself to never lose her voice again. Steven has found a different kind of peace. He's doubling down on the family business, yes, but he's also spending more time with his children, finding a different kind of purpose and fulfillment in the simple, unbreakable bonds of family. Their story is a powerful reminder that the end of a marriage doesn't have to be a failure. It can be a transformation, a testament to the courage it takes to admit that a shared path no longer serves two individuals. They are still the McBees, but their legacy will now be one of not just power and influence, but also of quiet grace, human resilience, and the difficult, beautiful truth that every ending is simply a new beginning. What lessons do you take from their story about love, change, and resilience? Please share your reflections in the comments below. Their story is one of resilience and transformation, reminding us that even the strongest relationships can evolve, and new beginnings often emerge from painful endings.